Hi, welcome to Bohicaville Today. I'm Paul. Today is Saturday, October 5th, 2013, and I found a zero tolerance story today on a site called activistpost.com, and I provided the link below. Um, a teenage boy, a 17-year-old teenage boy, faces felony charges in Georgia because he went fishing. Apparently, this teen is an avid fisherman, and he goes fishing once or twice every week. So he had his car in the school parking lot and forgot that he had all his fishing gear in the car. And police officers did a sudden canine search of the school parking lot, and the dogs hit on this teen's car. Apparently, he had a couple of firecrackers in there, which were left over from the 4th of July, and that's what the dogs hit on. But that's not why he's facing the felony charges. When the police searched his trunk, they found his tackle box, which had in it 3 different fishing knives, all of which were apparently more than 2.5 inches in length. Additionally, they found a knife, presumably another fishing knife, in the pocket of the car's driver door. Now, the teen said he just simply forgot that his fishing gear was in the car. But this kid is now facing felony charges because of zero tolerance laws. To me, zero tolerance equals zero thinking. And to my mind, hopefully, common sense is going to prevail in this case, and this teen is not actually going to be charged and potentially face prison time, and therefore not be able to go into the Air Force, which is what his plan is after high school. Zero tolerance equals zero thinking. Just another simple symbol of the police state antics of our neo-fascist corporatocracy known as the USSA. And speaking of that, moving on to Miriam Carey, the mentally unstable woman who ran her car through Washington the other day, evading a police stop, but was eventually stopped and gunned down by the police, even though she herself had no weapon. In my mind, the use of police force was excessive, and I said in my video yesterday that if this happened in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, instead of Washington, D.C., there would be a huge outcry right now. And the outcry would be deserved, because this woman was executed with her 1-year-old daughter in the back seat of the car. Okay? As a matter of fact, I would say if this happened in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, instead of Washington, D.C., there would be full-scale riots on the streets of Pittsburgh as of right now, and those rioters would be 100% justified. Again, Miriam Carey executed in Washington, D.C. At least her family is starting to speak out, and hopefully they will be able to get their story out there. It seems they're facing a lot of resistance from the mainstream media, which wants to sweep this story under the rug very quickly, and the politicians in Washington also want to sweep it under the rug very quickly. They just want this to go away because they know if there's any serious inquiry into this, it's going to be bad news for them. It's already bad news for the Carey family. Okay, now moving on to the government shutdown. I found this story today on Breitbart.com. And again, I provided the link below. Um, I also provided a link from the Miriam Carey story, link to the Savage Nation, the Michael Savage radio show. And um, a lot of people on the right and left despise Michael Savage. Um, he is a conservative. I happen to be one of the people who don't despise him. Um, but he pointed out on his radio show that the only sites that were really covering this Miriam Carey execution were his show and the Infowars.com website, which I believe is the link that I provided. Um, the mainstream media really doesn't want to take on this story uh, because, again, it happened in Washington, D.C., in our nation's capital, instead of some other place. Okay, moving on to the government shutdown. I found this story on Breitbart.com. Apparently, the operators of fishing charter boats along the Florida Bay were told by the National Park Service that the bay was going to be closed due to the government shutdown. And there would be park rangers on duty to enforce the ban. Okay, now let's take a look at how much sense this makes. First of all, how do you close an ocean? How do you close an open-ended body of water? That is not even possible. Secondly, if you're going to have park rangers on duty to enforce a ban, then how come there aren't people on duty to patrol the bay or whatever they do normally? It seems to me that this is costing more money to the taxpayers than simply keeping the bay open. And let's look at who it's hurting. It's hurting small businesses, which own fishing charter businesses, and it's hurting tourists. It is not hurting politicians, of course, and it is not hurting mega corporations, the people who are in cahoots running our neo-fascist corporatocracy. Of course, you won't see anything about this story either in the neo-fascist corporatocracy-controlled lamestream media, because this doesn't fit their agenda. Well, that's all I have for today. Take care, everybody. Ciao.